In the United States and Canada, a ton is defined as 2,000 pounds. The term ton is also used to refer to a number of units of volume, and it can also be used as a unit of energy. Now for a quick size comparison, we've got the Kershaw One Ton on the bottom, Kershaw Asset in the middle, and a Benchmade Mini Griptilian on top. Welcome everyone to another knife review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at another outstanding offering from Kershaw's budget line, and that is the Kershaw One Ton. Now, previously on my channel, you've seen a video on the Kershaw Half Ton, which is basically the baby brother to this knife. The Half Ton was the first knife in the series from Kershaw, and since that knife there's been two other iterations, the 3/4 ton and this 1 ton that you see in front of you, each getting larger as you go up in the line, this being the largest of all three. Now, between the Half Ton and the 1 ton, in my opinion, you have the Half Ton, the 1 ton is twice as large, and there are also some other differences between the knives, but design-wise, the overall look of the knife is very similar. The knife that you see in front of me, the role that I've put it into is kind of the outdoor utility knife, something I'm going to put in my pocket if I'm going outside to play in the garden, cut the grass, clear some wood behind the house, stuff like that. So it's more hard use utility, and it's really done a great job and functioned well in that role. So let's start and take a look at some of the design features and the materials that are used in the 1 ton. We have this nice large piece of G10, that's 1/2 of the handle scale. And since this is a frame lock, we have the other steel handle scale on the reverse side. All right. Open the blade up here, you can see the lock bar. It's about a 50-50 lockup, so there's plenty of room for it to wear in and be used over time. On the reverse side here, G10 handle scale, we have 3 Torx screws in the rear and 1 pivot screw up front that you can loosen to take the knife down if you need to clean it. But it does have a flow-through pillar design. We have 3 pillars in the rear here, and we have the blade stop up front. So it's a nice, simple, clean, open knife. So in the role I've been using it, it's gotten quite dirty, not just with lint from being in the pocket, but from wood and other stuff that's been outside that I've been using it with, that's been getting inside. So it's been very easy to just throw a Q-tip in there and clean it out. Flip it over on the other side, we have just a standard, very basic pocket clip from Kershaw that is reversible for tip up or tip down orientation, but only right side. Now, granted, this is a budget knife, but I don't see how difficult it is to drill 6 more holes on the G10 side, so it's completely ambidextrous for the lefties out there. But unfortunately, you guys have been left in the dark on the sidelines with respect for this particular knife. Now, the pocket clip, it's very functional, simple, straightforward. The only real negative or complaint I have with it is it's quite stiff, and even from the factory, it had a lot of tension underneath of it, and through the couple months of use that I've been having this in my pocket outside, it really hasn't loosened up that much. Now, at some point, I will try to bend this out and make it a little bit looser, but I also don't want to lose the knife when I'm outside working. So that's just something to keep in mind, that you might have to actually bend that pocket clip out a little bit. Frame lock locks up solid, and there's no up and down play or side to side even after significant use. I didn't really kind of whack through anything difficult, branches or anything, but I did a little whittling, and there's no movement that developed in the blade at all. The only downside I can say to the lock bar here is the lock face, or the part that actually interfaces with your thumb, is quite sharp. There's no rounding of that edge or anything, so when you stick your thumb on there to close the knife, you do get quite a little indent on your thumb. That can be annoying if you're opening and closing the knife over a couple times in one sitting. That could start irritating your thumb. So rounding that off would have been nice, or leaving a little bit more of that lock bar exposed to get a better, grip as you're closing the knife. But again, for the price, can't really complain. Move on to the blade. Nice large blade, very similar blade shape to the half ton, 8013 MOV blade steel, and 3 1/4 inches long. So you have more than enough real estate on there for any number of tasks that you could throw it its way. Easy deployment with the thumb stud, smooth, no issues. Now if you want to flick this knife open, it really isn't a problem. You can do it, like you see there. However, sometimes depending on how your hand is positioned on the handle itself, and because this thumb stud is more inward towards the handle scale, it can be a little difficult to get behind it sometime and really give enough inertia to get out and lock in place. But if you just do it nice and slowly, put your thumb right on the stud and ease it out, it's going to come out every single time. Razor sharp from the factory from Kershaw, no complaints there. I haven't had any knife from the factory from Kershaw that's been dull. So outstanding job. Since this is 8013 MOV, it is a softer steel, so if you're using it a lot, especially for hard tasks, you're going to have to sharpen it a little bit more often. But for a user knife, that's not an issue for me. I know I'm going to be using it a lot, so I want it to be able to get back to that razor sharp edge relatively quickly and easily, and something I can do at home. And 8013 MOV really is a steel that is great for all those things I mentioned. But overall, for the price point, I think Kershaw did a great job with this knife. And as long as you're not, really particular about being made overseas, I think the quality from Kershaw is outstanding, and the amount of knife that you get for the money, it really can't be beat.